Shalom, Yashala. We out here with Sons of Thunder. They're breaking ground in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a beautiful thing. All these brothers that are out here talking about brothers can't get together. Zephaniah 2:1 is in full effect. Ain't no confusion. We're supporting one another. We're supporting Sons of Thunder and making sure that what they're doing, the will and the work of the Most High, is going to be pushed forward. And other brothers from other camps, you got about 3 or 4 different camps that are coming to do that in the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey man, I'm having a great time out here in Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, here for the Sons of Thunder opening of the North Carolina branch with our mighty brothers, our mighty new captain, Captain Yonatan. We got the mighty captain, Captain Yakin Yah. We got the mighty soldier, Brother Judah. And we got brothers that come out here and teach, man. We got Yahweh's camp. This brother think he's sharp on the sword. Nah, he quick, man. He quick, man. But man, all praise to the Most High, Khan. I heard we had a brother that had questions about Christ. Is that brother still here?
There he is.
The brother still here?
He's here.
He said he here. He don't want to.
And he don't know we cool.
Yeah, we cool, brother.
Come on, brother. We got to ask your question.
Come on, brother.
Put that flag down, brother.
You gonna be the king.
They trying to run you over anyway.
Gotta get. What's going on, brother? How you doing? What's your name? Say it again. Chris. Wow.
Chris.
Hey.
Killing the facts there.
Yeah, he OD'd.
You said you had questions about Christ. What's going on, brother?
I just don't see him in the Old Testament.
You don't see him in the.
Not only that, I don't believe you should worship. Like when you praise to the Most High, I don't think you honor him with the Most High. If you're gonna honor him, you honor him separate, but not just with the Most High.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I'll deal with the first thing is you say you don't see him in the Old Testament, right? We're gonna start off in the New Testament. I'm gonna let Brother Peter show you Christ in the Old Testament.
But see, here's the thing. Those prophets or those disciples in the New Testament, you got to prove them in the Old first. Before you can go to them, they have to be proven in the Old first.
Gotcha.
Because that's just like anybody walk up and say, man, I support Christ, or I came from Christ.
Gotcha.
But you got to prove him. He got to have some history. Like, if you can't show me his history, you can't quote him.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
because
you.
see, I could take a quote from Christ and say, hey, I said this, and this brother could come up and say, oh yeah, Chris said this because he quoted Christ.
Gotcha.
But is that for me?
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying.
Is that for me?
So just to tailor strictly to the point that you made, I'll stay out of the New Testament. We can just deal with the Old Testament. Give me Psalms 22 and 16. You believe in the prophet in David, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But I also believe that it's a little deeper than just David himself.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you some questions and we can discuss about it if that's cool with you.
Cut off his
And then you give me
Always give room.
Psalm 16 and 8. Read before the chapter starts.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 22. To the chief musician upon a Jalith, Shahar, a psalm of David.
So this is a psalm of David, a song of David. You agree? Read verse 16.
For dogs have compassed me about. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet.
When did this happen to David?
Well, my understanding, David is a metaphor. It's not actually talking about David itself. It's talking about the children of Israel. Because see, the atrocities happened to the children of Israel. It didn't just happen to one person. See, in the Old Testament, it singled us out. Like right now, we call ourselves Israel, Israelites, right? But we're talking to a nation of people. You're not talking to just one individual. So when this is talking to David, I believe it's talking to a nation of people or a tribe of people, not just one person.
Well, it's not talking to David. This is David speaking.
But what I'm saying, even when he's going off the scene, can we get a shalom for the brother?
Khan. Adawan Zaquan is off the scene. Shalom.
You understand what I'm saying? See, I believe like when it talks about the sons of Jacob, when it talks about Jacob, then Jacob name was changed to Israel. It's no longer talking about Jacob anymore. It's talking about the tribe of Jacob.
Right, I understand
It's talking
that.
about the lineage of Jacob. So when David is speaking, did David write that, or was that quoted by Solomon? Did Solomon write that?
No, that's
No,
the
this
Psalm
is
of
a Psalm of
David.
David.
Because you know Solomon wrote in David too. I mean in Psalms too, right?
He'd have to show that.
Yeah.
Right? So my
You have to
understanding-
you have to show me some psalms written by
Here's what
Solomon.
I'm saying. It's like it's like
Moses, Ezra,
David didn't write
David,
the whole Psalms.
Asaph.
Nah, not all of them.
So
No.
somebody else wrote
There's
too,
some
right?
by Asaph,
Right.
there's some by Moses,
Right.
Ezra,
And also
But it-
Solomon, right?
I haven't seen anybody. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you would just have to show that to me. Right. But
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say no. Solomon wrote songs.
Proverbs.
Songs. He wrote
Yeah.
many songs.
Him-
But the Psalms of Solomon, you'd have to
Yeah, I haven't
demonstrate
seen
that.
any of those. But let's get back to this, because David is saying this as himself. He usually, like you said, usually when we're speaking of the nation, it'll say to Israel or to Jacob.
I think the translations get us mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Even if let's say that's correct. Here we're at the 16th verse. It isn't saying anything about it has nothing about Jacob or Israel right here. This David is saying this is happening to me. Read it again. Let's read it again.
Psalms 22 and verse 16. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet.
When did this happen to all Israel?
I mean, I just like to say what happened to all Israel.
David's giving a prophecy right now.
Okay, so that happened to David?
No, that's what I'm saying. This is David prophesying of someone.
But you know what I'm saying? With those what you just read, right? Did that not happen to the children of Israel?
Getting their hands and feet pierced.
Right.
It's gonna get a little more specific, and I'll answer that.
But didn't it happen to the children of Israel?
It happened
as well?
to somebody specifically of the children of Israel, from what we believe.
Right, okay.
Let's keep reading. The prophecy is gonna get a little bit more specific.
Okay.
I may tell all my bones. Verse 17.
Go ahead.
They look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture.
Now, who did this happen to? This happened to all Israel. Was all the nations casting their garments across and betting, casting lots on who's gonna get it?
All right, here we go, right? The garments, right? When they came and got us from the west coast of Africa, right? What was we wearing?
Say it again.
From the west coast of Africa, when they came and got us, right? What was we wearing? What we wearing royal garments? What we wearing priestly items? Reason why they stripped us down and put us on the boats naked? And what you think those Africans was doing with those garments? They was casting lots for them because they cast lots. It's almost like this. That's a speculation that you're talking about Christ here.
I didn't say
Not a
anybody.
speculation.
I was asking you who was talking about. I didn't say anybody.
I'm saying because I know where we're going because see, we're insinuating that respect, but I'm telling you, it's talking about the tribe of Israel.
Well, do you have proof that the so-called Africans was betting and casting lots on our garments? Is there any scripture that says that happened? Or do you have any other source that says
I
that
do,
happened?
but they don't come to mind. One of the scriptures do
We'll
come
get it
to
for
mind. What is it?
Somebody get the phone out. We pull it
I
for
got
you.
it just paraphrase.
They'll sell a boy for a harlot, a woman for wine.
That's Tyree and Zidon. That's not in that when Tyree and Zidon did that.
That's
talking.
have one, right?
That's actually talking about when Tyree and Zidon sold us on ships, but that's not in the west when we was coming here on the slave trade. That's a whole different event.
You asked for where, right?
But you said
was
that
they not selling our? What happened to our garments? They just threw them away. Think about it. We had the best shit. We had the best stuff.
Well,
No, you don't think so? That's how they knew us. They had to know who we were.
now we're getting into speculation.
Okay, who's to say? Who's to say?
Let's just say
What our clothes look like?
Let's just say this, right? The first commandment.
Yes,
thou
sir.
have no other God before me. Second, thou shalt make no graven images, right?
Yes, sir.
Any graven images, right? Today, who is Christ?
Christ is the Lord and Savior of the Israelites.
But what is he?
He's a man.
But what is he? Like the whole world know him as a what? A graven image.
No, we don't know him as a graven image.
But okay, just like if I had a pound of coke and we standing right here, will we all go to jail? Because wouldn't you be guilty by association by standing with me?
No, because I'm gonna tell the police I don't know this brother.
No, but to go with that, if the police showed up and they checked it out and it wasn't a real bag of coke, it was just sugar, nobody would go to jail, right? So that's what happened when they found Christ in all these other nations. That's not the real Christ.
All right, but do this.
This is the graven image.
Hey, there you go.
Right.
The hell is
But
this?
see, here's the biggest thing, right? They beat that into us, right?
Yeah.
So how did we do take that same story and believe in it? Just because you changed the color and the name.
Well, we didn't change it. They changed it. The Bible never said this was Christ. The Bible never said
But
this
he
was
also
Christ.
tell you not to follow him too.
Where's the Bible say not to follow the Messiah? Because Daniel says that the Messiah is going to be cut off
But
for the people.
Where it tell you to follow him at?
Say it again.
Where it tell you to follow him at?
Deuteronomy 18.
Tell you to follow him at?
Yeah, we're going to read it out. Go to Deuteronomy 18.
Also
Fair question. You asking fair question?
Let's get Isaiah too. I got some stories in Isaiah. No.
Well, we're going to go there anyway, eventually, but read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth. And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Here we go right here.
Okay, if you want to, go to Genesis 49.
Wait.
I mean, what about this? We can go. We'll go there.
I'm telling you, Genesis 49 is talking about Judah. It's talking about Judah is going to be the tribe that's raised up.
Right. Okay. Let's go to Genesis 49. Let's start at 8.
No, start at 1.
Explain to the camera that you understand what he just said, because I don't understand that.
Okay. So repeat what you said.
I said go to Genesis.
No, he's concerning who Deuteronomy 18:18 was talking about.
Right. Who is that talking about?
The tribe of Judah.
It says a prophet.
Right.
One of your brothers.
Right.
So it's not talking about the whole tribe. It's talking about a specific person.
See, that's what we different, because I believe that when the Bible is speaking, just like it's the 12 tribes of Israel, he's talking to the 12 tribes. So he said one of your brothers, meaning one of your brothers gonna raise up. That's why I say go to Genesis 29, because your brothers are gonna raise up to who? Judah. All brothers and all nations gonna bow to Judah. You understand?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
that's
let's
what
read.
Genesis 49 is talking about. It is not talking about an individual. It's talking about a tribe of people.
Let's read
or a
Deuteronomy
nation of people.
18 one more time, and then we're going to go to Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis, but let's read Deuteronomy 18 one more time.
Verse 15 first.
Start at 15.
Verse 15. The Lord your God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him you shall hearken.
Him, it's being very specific. If the Bible would say there's going to be one tribe that you need to listen to, but it's being specific. I'm going to get somebody out of the midst of you. I'm going to hand select somebody out of the midst of you, and you have to listen to him. I'm going to put my words in his mouth, and you need to listen to him.
So when Jacob is prophesying,
Show me
in the
one
last day,
prophecy from Jacob.
Just Genesis 49. When Jacob gathered his sons, all 12 tribes, and he told the sons in the last days what was going before them, right?
Well, Moses is after Jacob.
Did the story change? Because the Most High said he changed not. So everything you read is going to have to be the same. Only different language you get is when you get to the new.
So if
Because see, none of our prophets in the old worship anybody between them and the Most High.
If Moses is after Jacob, how can Moses be talking about Jacob? How are we today going to listen to Jacob if Moses is after him?
Well, it's not Jacob that he's talking about.
I thought that's what you were saying.
No, it's the word of the Most High that he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gave the word, just like Jacob raised up Ephraim, right? Made Ephraim the king. Made Joseph took Ephraim, but then the Most High chose Judah. Mm-hmm. It's still the Most High's plan. The Most High is the one who's orchestrated all this.
So you're saying
just because it came through Judah, what I'm saying is like we all talking. I can just call us all Israel. But those people that's not Israel don't understand. Even though they know they Israel, they don't understand if I say, yo, Israel. They think I'm talking just to you, but I'm talking to a nation of people. And I believe in the Old Testament, that's what they're talking. He's talking to a nation of people or tribe of people. He's not just talking to just an individual.
We agreed on that point when it says, "Oh Israel."
But see, you also got to look at it like this too. Not being like that. You also got to look at it too. It's different translations too. That different books have been, different words have been broke down. So it may say him here, it may say something else somewhere else. So you got to understand that some of the translation may be flawed too. I'm just saying, some of the translations, the little words, some of them may be flawed for us like him, there, that. I don't know.
You have to demonstrate that. But
okay, go ahead.
If we were to go to the Hebrew, what else would it say other than him? Because Israel is not in the verses that we're reading. Right. Jacob is not at the verses we're reading. It's specifically pointing to a person. Right. It's so if we was to go and read it in the Hebrew, it still would be pointing to a specific person. But we can go to the. Go ahead, get your percent.
Salaki. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 10. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. And they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son.
So this is saying Israel is going to look onto this specific person who has been pierced. So how can this still be talking about Israel? Give me, stay in Zechariah, go to chapter 6 and read verse 12. I'm going to let him think on it.
No.
Zechariah chapter 6 and verse 12. And speak unto him, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Behold the man whose name is the branch.
Who is this?
Me, I'm going to say it's Judah, the tribe.
Judah, the tribe is really
I'm going to say that. The reason why I said it, because see, you have to go to Genesis 49. Because he just like he
Judah called the branch.
Read Genesis 49. Who's raised up?
It says that Judah is called the branch in Genesis 49?
Okay. The whole Bible is about Israel, right?
Yes. The history of Israel, yes.
It's about Israel, right?
Yes.
The whole Bible is about Israel.
Yes.
The whole Bible is about Christ.
Say it again.
It's about Christ?
Because Christ comes in, he does, because in the Old, isn't it in the Old Testament that says he comes in the volume of the book?
Right. Yeah. Chapter 40.
All right. Let's take Isaiah 43 and 10.
Isaiah 43 and 10?
Yeah. Wait. Come around.
You want Genesis first, or you want to go to that?
You can read Genesis, because Genesis is going to tell you all the tribes.
Let's go to Genesis.
Let him. He's
we're
doing good.
Specifically talking about Judah. Start at verse 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Right.
He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Right.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah,
Correct.
nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
Correct.
Until Shiloh comes.
Who is Shiloh?
Shiloh is peace. That's the anointing of Jesus.
Until peace come?
Just like you read, the brothers are going to raise and bow to who? Judah. But they're not going to bow. They're not going to bow to Judah until Judah is cleansed, until Judah is anointed, until Shiloh to peace. Like all of us right now, we still niggas in Israelites.
So Shiloh is not an actual person. Shiloh is just saying until peace comes.
Shiloh is peace, and it also could be a place, depending on your translation.
So until a place comes?
No, until peace comes. I said peace is the anointing on Israel.
Okay, read this. Isaiah 9 and 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Who is this child that is going to be called the Prince of Peace?
The Mighty God.
That's going to have the government on his shoulders.
Okay.
Who is from the tribe of Judah?
Well, my stance is going to be Judah, because when Judah
is the child from Judah?
When Judah reigned, right? Is his kingdom in? Do his kingdom in? In Genesis 49, the Judah kingdom in. Once he takes rulership, the Judah kingdom in.
And at some point, Judah's kingdom did end. Because I can go to where the Most High told David that if any of his kids don't do his laws, then the kings of Judah will not be on the throne.
Right, but that was before this last time.
Huh?
Before the last time. That was the prophecy of the 6 captivities that we went into. But see, we're coming into the 7th captivity. Who's going to rule the earth in this 7th captivity?
Yahushua. But look, read this again.
I don't think you have to show me where the Most High said.
Isaiah 9:6 again.
Show me where the Most High said Yahushua is going to rule the earth. Because he said Judah, all tribes, everybody other than earth is going to be subject to Judah, to the Israelites.
Right, so from Judah. Let's deal with this one thing at a time, like the brother saying. Let's read this again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God.
When was Judah called the Mighty God?
Give me that. When was anybody in Judah except for Mashiach called that?
I don't even know where he was called that, to be honest with you.
So when was Judah?
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know.
That's fair.
That's fair, and that's an honest instinct.
Like I don't know where anybody was called that, so I'm gonna say I don't know. You have to show me that.
Would that prophecy count as going against your stance that Exodus 20:1 says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me"? Would that prophecy break that commandment?
Read it again.
Read it again.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Well, one would have to believe that it would go against the first commandment, but the only thing about that is I feel like it's not enough understanding for me to like. You can force me to the corner and say, oh yeah, that goes. But I just don't believe that we have a true understanding of what these verses are actually saying. Because see, I'm saying that when it's talking about an individual, it's talking about a tribe of people. It's not talking about just one person. But y'all don't understand that it just singled out one person. Because see, it kind of flaws if you just thinking about it's talking about one person, because the Most High deals in a way that we can't understand.
We got more precepts, brother.
But before you go to your precept, okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 11.
This is going to answer your question.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
Who are we talking about right now?
Judah, Israel.
All right.
And appoint themselves one head.
Yep.
Who's that?
Who is this?
Okay, Israel and Judah is going to appoint them, right?
Yes.
But the way you reading it now, you said the Most High didn't appoint that, right?
No, read it again.
Wait, read it again.
No, I'm not talking about this verse. I'm talking about the other verses.
Say it again.
The one the child is being born, it means the Most High has already appointed that king over us, right?
Well, the Most High does all things in general, according to Sirach 18:1. Everything is done by the Most High in general.
But here it says that Israel and Judah is going to choose that king, right?
No.
Let me hit that one too. This is another precept in the same book. Hosea chapter 3 and verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king. That's the one head. David their king will be Mashiach Yahushua. He's the son of David. So he will be the one head that all tribes are gathering under.
I understand what you're saying, but you're speaking to a person that don't see that.
I got you.
Yeah, you gotta make it simple.
Okay.
Go back to the first one.
I want to say this. Okay, let's do
No, go back to the first one.
This is where I feel like you have to prove this to me. And when you go to Isaiah 43 and 10, and just read that.
But he got the burden of rejoinder.
Wait, we gotta
deal with the mighty God.
No. Because see, I understand what you're saying, but it's like if you're gonna get me off this block right here, if you're gonna knock me off my stone, because see, honestly, if I am flawed, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to change.
All praises.
But see, it's not like that. Just I don't see him. When I come, I don't see him there. You know what I'm saying? I can't find him there. So, and it's like from what y'all bring out, I still don't see him there. You know what I'm saying? But it's like.
Can I show you one more thing?
Yeah.
Psalm 16 and 8.
Wait, Salakia, I was gonna tell you to stay in Hosea first before you go to Psalm 16, because
Well, yeah, you didn't really
didn't
give us
answer
an
who that
answer to
head
that.
was.
Who is that
Yeah.
that's being appointed as that one?
I thought I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, he said he didn't know.
Hey, that's fair.
Give me Psalm.
That's two.
Give me Psalm 16 and 8.
I'm about to strike out. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's get a foul. Let's get a foul ball or something. Come on now.
Psalm 16 and 8.
It's a good build. Hey, confirm that the women can hear.
Can y'all hear?
Can we turn the speaker that way?
We're gonna sacrifice the speaker for the women.
You gotta tune in.
Hey, bring it back in. Bring it behind him. No, you would have to be behind the speaker. And then we'll speak for our own comfort out here.
So Psalm 16 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 16 and verse 8. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved.
My bad. Let's read the words before the chapter starts, so the brother knows who wrote this song.
Meet calm of
Give him a
David.
microphone.
So who is this of? All right. So David's talking.
No. Somebody talking for David. I'm not sure. The content, I believe somebody write for David.
Well, somebody's writing for David because of course he has a scribe. But this is David speaking, and his scribe wrote it.
Okay, they're speaking on his behalf. Who's hired David?
But these are David's words.
Okay.
But a scribe is writing them down. Read verse 8.
I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption.
Who is this talking about?
Wow. I actually have to get more understanding of it. Because,
All right, now we got one.
I have to get more understanding of that, because see, you have to break that Lord down and understand what Lord is he talking about. When David's talking, and David's talking to his Lord, then his Lord would be Samuel. Nathan. So David's Lord would be Nathan.
Well,
but we don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying I have to get more understanding.
Yeah, let's see.
I have to get more understanding.
Let's see. Go to 110. Chapter 110. And we'll get an understanding of who David's Lord is. Because he says it again. 110 and start at verse 1.
Bring it out,
The book of Psalms, chapter 110 and verse 1. A psalm of David.
A psalm of David. So let's just say again, he has a scribe writing down his words.
The Lord said unto my Lord.
The Lord, the first Lord is in all caps. And you understand that to be the tetragrammaton, correct?
The Lord said unto my Lord.
The Lord, all caps, said unto my Lord. The Lord, in all caps, said unto David's Lord. And you said David's Lord, from your understanding, would be Nathan, correct?
Right.
Let's see.
Until I make...
So Yahweh is saying this to Nathan. Read, what is he saying to Nathan?
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Can you show anywhere where Yahweh spoke to Nathan and told him that he's going to sit at Yahweh's right hand?
I can't do it right here, but I do believe that's the one of the scriptures I was talking about. That was Solomon talking about his father.
So Solomon is going to sit at Yahweh's right hand?
No, this is Lord of David. This is Solomon talking about Nathan talking. Well, I think it's more. It's a breakdown. It's a breakdown.
That's the stretch.
Talking about. We're not talking about David, the Lord over David.
No, he wouldn't be. Nathan would be a counselor of David. Your counselor isn't the Lord. So what I'm saying is David's the king. There's no Lord over David. So if there's no physical Lord over David, he has counselors, right? You can have counselors. He had two. He had Gad the seer and he had Nathan, right? One northern king and one southern king. So he had the people. The thing is, who's Lord over David? That's what the brother's asking. Who's the Lord over David?
I'll say the Most High.
So the Most High's talking to himself.
See, that's why I say he's different when you go breaking it down. Because see, when you translate this to the English right now, it's like, it's simple to say I'm talking about one person. But see, if you don't have a concept to understand that it's talking about multiple people, man, you probably ain't never going to see eye to eye what you're saying. Like, I understand it's talking to multiple people. I don't think it's talking to just one person. Even though it's written in the book that is like talking to one person or one individual, I'm thinking it's talking to a different. a tribe of people. So when you saying the Lord, how can David's Lord be a tribe of people?
Right. And sitting at the right hand of the person talking to David.
It was okay. To sit at the right hand.
I kind of don't see it. You don't see what he's talking about?
I pray that this brother come into this thing. Most I got his eyes wide.
This Isaiah 43:40.
He wants to turn our camp.
I'm gonna step in front of y'all.
Break this down when the Most High is telling you that nobody's on his right side. That there was him, and he was created, and there's nobody else created after him or before him. Then if you can tell me when somebody else is created after him, when he said there was nobody created after him. No. We talking about people talking about next to him that's equal to him. A God.
Well, there's nobody equal to the Most
No,
High.
and
we don't say
we
don't say Christ is equal to the Most High. Christ didn't even say that.
Okay, answer it. 43 and 10, I think down to 20.
All right.
What scripture he getting in 43?
Yeah, let's finish this. We'll finish this. And we're gonna go to it.
Verse 2. The Lord shall send the rod of thine strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. We'll jump down to verse 4. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
What, who is the priest under the order of Melchizedek?
I would say
Judah?
I would say. Because see, when you break it down, like Judah, well, I ain't gonna say Judah, it's probably Ephraim. Because Ephraim and Judah is gonna be the one. Ephraim is gonna be that priest that's gonna be with Judah in
Well, when did this happen?
Genesis 49.
When did this happen? If Judah, the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Ephraim, which you said, they were both tribes were under the Levitical priesthood.
So
That's a tough one.
We speaking yesterday and we speaking today too, right? We speaking of times past and we speaking of present times to come.
Well,
What do that mean?
you're asking that to say is
Because I'm talking about the
are they
times
still
to come.
under it right now? Well, you would have to show me in the Old Testament, since that's what you only deal with, where they were put under the priesthood of Melchizedek.
Right now I couldn't show you.
It's not there.
I couldn't show you the way you asked me. But that's the reason why it's like that's why I'm going to Isaiah 43.
All right, let's go to it.
Because Isaiah 43, when the Most High is speaking himself, would you agree that he's speaking in 43?
I believe if the Lord is speaking in the book of Isaiah, it's through the prophet Isaiah.
Okay. So you don't believe these are the Most High words?
No, I didn't say that. I said if the Lord is speaking in the book of Isaiah, he's speaking through the prophet Isaiah. It's not like the Most High has cracked the sky and vocalized.
So like it's a few scriptures that this is what I mean. Honestly, I've been home and I've been looking for some brothers to break this down. It's like Isaiah 43 started 10 or you can start at 11. When the Most High, when the Most High is explaining to, I believe that's the Most High speaking, and he's talking about who he is and who's beside him and what he does and what everything.
Let's read it.
What everything he does.
Let's read it, and then you give us what your understanding is.
His brothers here that can go into it.
Book of Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me.
You want us to continue or read some more?
Yeah, keep on, maybe let me break it down. Like who is that?
Who like help me when it said there's no God before him, no God after him. Explain to me where Yahweh is.
Yahweh is a creation of the Most High God.
You have to show me he's the creator. Don't tell me like I'm showing you the reason why I don't believe in Yahweh. Then he's like that. I'm showing you through a scripture the reason why I don't believe that. But show me where the Most High created him, because if you can show me where he created, then you know I
gotta chill for a minute.
Go to Genesis chapter 1.
There you go.
Start at verse 1.
Book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deeps, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light.
What is this light?
Light is the understanding, right? The understanding of the truth, right?
I'm sorry, say it again.
The light is the truth, the understanding, right?
The truth
And understand it because see, when the world was formed in the first chapter, it was all darkness. It was the wicked, and when Adam was formed in the second chapter, breathed from the dirt to the ground, he brought the light to the world, right? The truth to the world, right?
It's fair to call that truth wisdom, correct?
Huh?
It's fair to call that truth wisdom, correct? We would see this as Christ being created.
But I don't. You haven't shown the Christ, though.
It's not going to say. It's not literally going to say Christ because Christ, the name Jesus Christ, don't come to the New Testament.
No. See, here's what I'm saying. Right? Hold up. Go back to Isaiah. Don't leave out there. Please don't leave out there. Like
You say go back to Isaiah?
Yeah, stay in Isaiah. Come on, don't just hit one.
You told me to go.
Well, he was answering your question.
I was answering your question.
Give me the understanding of y'all went down to
nobody.
13. Give me from 10 down to 13. Give me the understanding of that.
All right, go ahead. That's it.
All right. The book of Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 10. You are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me.
So you want us to explain there was no God formed before him nor after? Well, there was no God formed before Yahweh nor after.
All right, now keep on.
I, even I, am the Lord, and besides me there is no Savior.
But you said, when y'all read scripture, they say somebody's beside the Most High, right?
And there's no Savior.
There's no Savior, right?
That's the point you're making?
No, it's nobody beside him, there's no Savior beside him, right? But as you keep reading, he gonna keep telling you. So this is the part, the reason why I'm showing you the reason why I don't believe in Yahweh, because of these scriptures right here. I know what I'm saying I don't believe. I'm not saying he didn't exist. I'm just saying we shouldn't worship him. We shouldn't call upon him the same name that we call upon the Most High. He shouldn't be mentioned with him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you kind of didn't even reply to Deuteronomy 18, where it says that you will reverence this person that I bring up from.
Well, when it's represented, just like you represent this president of the United States.
No, because we don't
you know what I'm
reverence.
saying? Yeah, I mean, you did before you woke up. Like everybody represents somebody that's over them right now. Just like back in the day, they reverenced Moses, but they didn't worship.
Was Moses a savior?
No.
How was Moses not a savior?
Moses was a servant of the Most High that did his will.
Didn't he pray for the people?
But Moses didn't save them out of Egypt?
He prayed for the people. He prayed for the people and the Lord turned back his right.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'm saying is that he was a servant of the Most High.
Right.
Moses was
we
never.
also say Christ was a servant of the Most High.
That's right, brother.
Moses was never worshipped
Saviors shall arise.
as the savior of Israel, of bringing them out. And if you say Moses was worshipped or he was a savior, you also have to say Aaron was too, because Aaron spoke for Moses. Moses didn't speak to himself.
I don't have a problem with saying that.
But we don't say that. That's the problem. We don't say that because it's not clear. We weren't supposed to say that. That's why we don't say that.
So you said we can't say Moses did it?
It's like when we turn back. It's like when we turn back, we have to turn back to the Most High. We don't turn back to Yahweh, we turn back to the Most High, and we follow him.
We also say that we turn back to the Most High, but we have to go through Yahweh.
But see, that's the part I didn't get. I didn't get that go through part. Because when we read in Isaiah,
18.
But it said when we read in Isaiah, the Most High telling me it's him alone, and for me to turn back to him alone, and then I think Joshua 24 and 15, choose you this day who you want.
Hey, Salakia, brother, Salakia, real quick. We got a precept. Okay, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion.
So is now Obadiah contradicting Isaiah?
No.
It can't.
It's okay.
You see, you're taking me when I said he wasn't a savior for Israel, saying that he Most High couldn't use him as a savior. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's not to be worshipped as a savior.
Well, the Most High.
That's not what you
Well,
said.
So just to break down Isaiah, Isaiah, where it says there's no gods or no saviors next to him. There's nobody doing any of this without the Most High's permission.
Right.
Nobody. Moses wouldn't be saving Israel without the power from the Most High.
That's right.
Yahushua would not have saved Israel or did these miracles without the power of the Most High.
Right.
So we're not saying that Yahushua is a God just like the Most High God. That's what the Christians say.
Right.
But we don't say that. We actually say that Christ wouldn't be able to do none of this without Yahweh.
That's right.
And the New Testament says that. We see multiple scriptures where it says that, or Yahushua will ask for the power from the Most High. Or even Mary says that I know you will ask for the power from the Father to bring back Lazarus.
Did the Most High speak in the New Testament?
Say it again.
Did the Most High speak in the New
He
Testament?
spoke to Yahushua.
That's right.
Because every word that Yahushua said was from the
That's right, brother.
Okay,
And they quoted the Old Testament.
According to Deuteronomy 18, that's how it said it would go.
Okay, do you have a scripture that show that Yahushua spoke to Yahweh?
When he prayed.
Do you have a scripture to show where he answered this prayer? Because see, in the old, I see the Most High speaking to all the prophets. You can see that. I can show where he spoke to, when he spoke to Moses, when he spoke to Noah, when he spoke to Jacob, when he spoke to all the prophets in the old. You can see a conversation, a one-on-one, back and forth. But in the new, you don't see that. I have to take his word that he spoke to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like you say right now, you're trying to convince me that he spoke to the Most High through a scripture that didn't mention his name. Like, show me where he spoke to the Most High, or we to worship.
Look what you asking us. What you asking us can be asked of anything that appears in the Bible at any time. Prove to me that an angel appeared to Isaiah and set a coal on his tongue and purified his mouth. Prove it. Give anywhere. Show me proof that actually happened. That's what you asking us. You putting the burden on us like faith goes out the window. You got faith that God gave laws to Moses to correct us. You got faith that happened. You don't need no proof. Show me the tablets. Go get them 10 commandments on tablets of stone and show them to me. Otherwise, no, you got faith that that's real. But your faith ended, it ends when we start approaching Christ. Even though the men that you have faith in are speaking on someone to come and you don't want to think about it. You gotta spend some time.
It's not that it's not that I don't want to think about it. It's like you got other scriptures that tells you to remember the days of old, right? Remember our forefathers and go back to them, right? And I ask each one of y'all, our forefathers of yesterday, if they came back today, would they turn to Christ?
Would they what?
Would they turn to Christ? Would they turn to Yahushua?
Yes.
Elijah did it. Elijah did it. Elijah came back and turned to Christ.
So you said throughout all this, we didn't have to.
And when you say
Elijah paved the way. He paved the way for them.
when you say our fathers, are you saying the prophets or are you just saying regular Israelites? Well, it would be some that reject him, just like
Abraham, Isaac,
for an
and
example,
Jacob.
you were rejecting him.
Right
so
now.
your spirit is not a new spirit. Just like when Christ was on the earth, they was rejecting them. So I could say that some of them were rejecting.
Well, let's just say, let's just be fair. It's not that I'm not saying that I'm rejecting. I'm saying I don't see him. Like, I'm asking you to show me him without a shadow of a doubt that he's there. I'm not saying I'm not saying I reject him. I just don't see him. When we back in Isaiah, and the Most High is telling you that it's him and him alone.
I got something for you.
Like, when he's telling us him and him alone, it's like I just need you to break that down. Break Isaiah down. It's like, help me understand when the Most High telling you it's him by himself and there's nobody on his side. Help me understand that, if that means something different or if it don't mean exactly what it says.
The understanding that we have of Isaiah 43:10 and 11 is that there is nobody that's giving any power to anyone to save anyone other from the Most High. There's nobody that can do that other than the Most High, because any other God is just an idol.
Okay, and it's like Christ came to redeem us back to the covenant, right?
With the permission from the Most High, yes.
Okay, and then to redeem us from sin, from iniquities, right?
Yes.
So
wait, before you ask that, I'm glad you even said that, because I wanted to ask you a question before we started. How do you atone for your sins right now?
Well, right now, honest, going back to Isaiah, I think it's 43:25, is that right now, it's not an atonement that I can do for myself, because the Most High is blotting them out. Isaiah 43:25. He is blotting them out. And he said he will remember them no more. And right now, due to the fact that we're still in captivity, we're not under the law anymore. And I'm not saying the law is done away with. I'm just saying we're not subjected to it because we're in captivity. You know what I'm saying? Because if we are subjected to the law, because one of the things about the law was we had to carry out the judgment. We can't just repent and kill an animal and give up praise. We also have to see somebody that's living wild and we have to put them to death. For homosexuals, we have to put them to death.
Well, why are we not doing that now again? Say that. Why we not doing that now?
We're in captivity.
We've been in captivity.
We've been in captivity multiple times, and it's the reason why we continue to go back.
Right. That's the reason why right now that our sins are blotted out as a cloud. Read scripture.
Okay, read that.
Read scripture.
He said
Book of Isaiah.
25, right?
Yeah, I think
He wanted 43 and 25. Book of Isaiah chapter 43 and 25. I, even I, am he that blotteth out the transgressions for mine own sake, and will not remember thy sins.
Right. When did this happen?
Well, my understanding is what he did when we went into captivity. That's my understanding.
No,
I mean, but if that's the wrong understanding, then you have to tell me, because
we would say
he said it there. He will say it in some more places.
We would say that the understanding is when Christ came.
Right.
That's would be our understanding, because look, go to Isaiah 11 and 1. Start there.
Yeah. Bring it out, Al.
The book of Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 1.
Because we believe that Isaiah understands that this is Christ as well. Because multiple times Christ is referenced to in this book. Read this.
The book of Isaiah 11 and verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse.
Who is Jesse? Okay, and who is the rod?
The rod, I would say
How does Judah come out of Jesse if Jesse is a part of Judah?
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's like the way you're forming them, it's gonna sound weird the way I'm coming out. But see, I go back to the beginning, because he, like you tell you, the end is declared at the beginning. He declared the end at the beginning. So if I'm standing on Genesis 49 when Jacob described his tribe. When Jacob described his tribe, I don't believe Jacob said was told a lot. Jacob said Judah will be the head, and all the other tribes will bow to Jacob, and all the nations will bow to Judah.
Right.
So my thing is, you have to show me where that changed before you bring in your house.
Judah is a tribe, yes. What tribe is Jesse from? So how is this rod coming out of Jesse, the tribe of Judah, if Jesse is a part of the tribe of Judah?
These are like metaphors. And here's what I'm saying. I don't have a true understanding.
Well, yeah, we're going to give you our understanding. Okay. Keep reading.
And a branch shall grow out of his roots.
So a branch is going to grow out of the roots of that rod from Jesse. So who is this branch? So the rod is Judah and the branch is Judah.
Well, I'm going to say I don't know.
Keep reading. Okay.
And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
Now, most brothers that have your understanding of not seeing Christ would say this is Solomon, because these are all attributes that you can attach to Solomon. Keep reading though.
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity the meek of the earth.
Because Solomon did that as well. Read.
And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth.
Who is going to do this? Who is this? Who's going to smite the earth with the rod of his mouth? Again, it's talking about a specific person, not a whole tribe.
Right.
Well, it's a specific person. I don't know.
Keep reading.
And with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked, and righteousness shall be his girdle. Salakia shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins.
Now this is where we would say Isaiah is prophesying about Christ, because Christ, the rod that comes from Jesse is David. The branch that comes from the root would be Yahushua or Christ. And then it goes to give the attributes of what Christ would have. He would judge the poor with meekness. He would have all types of wisdom. He would show the fear of the Most High. He would smite the earth with the words of his mouth. This is all attributes to attach to Christ. There's nobody else in the scriptures that we can attach this to.